So the problem is deforestation. Deforestation is especially present in the tropics. Take the Amazon, for example. The Amazon rainforests in Brazil are disappearing rapidly. This booklet argues that small farmers cannot be held responsible for tropical deforestation. It highlights the underlying causes of the destruction of the forests by analyzing the effects of certain government policies on deforestation in the Brazilian Amazon. So the Amazon is disappearing, but why? It is argued that government policies designed to open up Amazonia for human settlement and to encourage livestock projects have played a key role in the deforestation process. It is concluded that rapid deforestation will continue if present policies remain unaltered. Here's another article on the topic. I won't read it all. You can pause the video and read it if you want, or you can just look up the article. But essentially, our tropical forests have been quickly decreasing as these areas become industrialized. Logging and farming have taken over many once lush ecosystems. Some areas regrow after the farms or clear cuts are abandoned, but this regrowth is young and lacks the ecological, biophysical, and economic value of mature forests. Oh dear. It appears we have a problem with deforestation. But are there any places where this is not happening? In fact, yes. Some places such as Taiwan and Puerto Rico are actually experiencing net forest regrowth. In this video, we're going to focus on Puerto Rico, so here's an article about the changes they've been experiencing. The environmental history of Puerto Rico exhibits a turning point, which is captured by the change in the relationship between the curves of human population and forest cover through time. Before 1940, as in a typical tropical country, there was a negative relationship between human population and forest cover. During the second half of the 20th century, the relationship became positive, as in several developed countries where economic and urban growth were accompanied by forest expansion. If you want to find out more about Puerto Rico's forestry growth, you should read this article, or one of my personal favorites, Bringing the Green Back by John Kerry, the journalist, not the politician. So as my personal contribution to this discussion, I decided to hop into ArcGIS and see if I could pick out the relationship between forests and people in Puerto Rico. These are the research questions I was working with. This is Puerto Rico. The green dots are trees. This is that same map, but with a 1 kilometer fishnet overlay. This basically just makes relationships easier to correlate in graph form. Now here's population density with a 1 kilometer fishnet overlay. That big red cluster at the top right is San Juan. And here's a confusing looking graph without units, but I promise it's pretty simple. As population goes up, the amount of forested land goes down. Basically, people don't live near the forests, and the forests generally stay away from population centers. And if you take another look at these maps, that relationship becomes evident. Now here's slope with the 1 kilometer fishnet. Now this graph is pretty interesting. This shows that people not only don't live near trees, but they also don't really live in places with steep slopes. And even cooler, trees grow more the steeper it gets. So much so actually that the maps are almost exactly the same. What conclusions can we draw from this? Well, maybe humans cut down all the trees from flat areas because flat areas are good for farming and building and other stuff. But maybe there are more conclusions that I can't think of. Could slope be a key when analyzing reforestation, or is it just a simple causational relationship? I don't know. Somebody else figure that out.